Have you ever wondered how to set up the price for your products? This pricing calculator helps you do just that. Don't sell yourself short anymore. Here is an easy and simple way you can figure out all your costs for your materials, for labor, or for any other costs, site fees, profits, discounts, sales tax, and more. This pricing calculator helps you figure out how much you can charge for your products. Hello and welcome to the instruction video of the pricing calculator for Google Sheets, a small business spreadsheet template. After your purchase, you'll receive a link to download the PDF file, and the PDF file contains a link to the online Google Sheet template. When you open your PDF file, you will see a little link that says Access your Google Sheet template here. You need to be logged into your Google Sheet account before clicking on it. After you click here, you'll ask if you want to make a copy of the sheet. Just say yes. And then when you open the file, after you saved it to your Google Drive, you will see in your file there are going to be 4 tabs: a README tab, a single product tab, multiple products, and materials. The instructions on the README contain all the instructions on how to use the spreadsheet, which will also be covered in this video. Under the single product, this is your calculator for every single product that you may have. And all you have to do is right click and duplicate. And then you also have a tab for multiple products. This tab is used in case you have a very straightforward material cost and you'd like a rather quick calculation. And in this tab, you will enter all the materials that you purchase for your items. You can enter a total of 250 different materials. So let's go ahead and do an example. Let's say that, for example, you have just opened a new Etsy shop and you are making moccasins. You have made lots of moccasins in your life before and you have decided to take this to the next level. So the first material that you purchase for your moccasins is going to be leather, and you've gone to the local leather store and you've spent $20 on it. They have measured the amount you purchased in square feet and you are able to make 4 units or 4 pairs of moccasins in total out of the piece that you've purchased. The next material you're going to add is your thread. You have spent $5 on a roll of thread, which is measured in meters. You have calculated that you can sew 25 pairs of moccasins out of this thread. Then you're also going to include beads. You have purchased some beads from the dollar store. They are measured in grams. And with the design you're currently using, you can make 50 pairs of moccasins. And the last item you're going to need for your moccasins is elastic. It costs you $5 to purchase the elastic, which is measured in meters, and you're able to get 2 pairs of moccasins out of that. So your price per unit for the pair of moccasins is going to be $5 plus 20 cents plus 10 cents plus $2.50. So then let's go ahead and go to the single product, and I've already put the item moccasins, but let's say that you're going to right click, going to duplicate, and you can rename this if you want. Let's call it product 1, or you can call it moccasins. Now under the moccasins, let's say that you'd like for your profit margin to be 50%. You often give your customers 10% discount, and you're in Canada, so you're going to be paying 14% tax. And Etsy is also going to have about 10% in fees on top of that. So the next thing we're going to do is, the material column over here is a drop-down menu with all the materials that you put in under the materials tab. We're going to select from the drop-down menu the materials that we're going to use for our moccasins. So we know we're going to use leather, we're going to use thread, we're going to use beads, and we're going to use an elastic. And then what we're going to do, we're going to add we're going to add in the amount you used to make your product or batch. Let's say we use 1.5 square feet of leather, we use 1 meter of thread, we use 10 grams of beads, and 30 centimeters or 0.3 meters of elastic. So our material cost is going to be $9.45. And then let's go ahead and figure out our labor. So for example, you may need to cut the leather. If you're paying yourself $15 an hour, and let's say it's going to take you 20 minutes to do this task, then you are going to sew the moccasins. Again, you want to be able to pay yourself $15 an hour, and it's going to cost you 45 minutes to sew the moccasins. And you also need to pack the item. It takes you 10 minutes to pack it. So would you just added $18 of labor to the cost of your product. And for example, let's say that you may have other costs as part of this item. This might be transportation or going to the store. Let's say the trip costs you $20 in gas, but you bundle that trip with a couple of other trips that you had to do. So it only ended up costing you about $4 in gas for this item. So now you can see here how all of a sudden the cost of how much you could be or should be charging is your materials plus your labor plus any other costs. This gives you the breakdown of your costs and your profit. So you have your costs, which are your material, labor, and other costs. And then you also have the profit, which is based out of the profit margin. So let's say that if we make this 40%, notice how your profit got reduced to $21. And it automatically calculates the discount, the sales tax, and the site fees that you may end up paying for this particular item. And notice that this does not include the shipping, which is paid by the buyer. So for example, let's say that you're going to calculate this as 0 because Etsy adds its own tax on top of that. So if you want to make $21 of profit in addition to paying yourself the labor costs, then you need to be charging $53 per pair of moccasin plus the shipping cost. And you can play around with these numbers to see whatever works for you. Now, the purpose of the multiple products tab is so that you can copy the information from your product pricing calculator over here, and you're going to enter it over here and you can list them. So for example, I can say that my moccasin items are over here, and let's say that I would like to keep a profit margin of 40%. So I can say 40, and let's say discount of 10%. Sales tax, I'll keep it at 0 because Etsy is going to add its own. Site fees, I can say, yep, there's 10% of that. Then my material costs are $9.45. Labor costs are $18.75. So I can also right click, say copy, come here, and say value only. And then other costs, I can say $4 of other costs. And here it automatically calculates the profit, so $21.47, discount, net profit, sales tax, site fees, and sales price. And then if I look at this number over here, it's the same number as the one over here. All right. It's a very powerful tool, very simple and very straightforward to use. I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial. I hope this has been helpful and useful. Let me know in the comments below if you have any suggestions, any thoughts, or any ideas on improvement. Thank you so much and have a great day.